Hi, my name is Mia Agimatang, and I'm the founder and executive director of Bridge the Gap San Diego, and we are a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to celebrating and preserving Filipino American representation and heritage. Our mission is to unite past, present, and future generations to their Filipino roots by actively promoting cultural representation and fostering community bonds. And in doing so, we hope to advocate for a more stronger and more connected Filipino American community by bridging generational gaps, hence the name Bridge the Gap. And that being said, our audience is catered to all generations of Filipino Americans and is run by the younger generation that is trying to make an impact and to keep our culture alive. So I am third generation Filipino American, and growing up, I never really had any real connection to my heritage besides my family. So the food, the family parties, etc. I never learned the language. I only knew a few words growing up, but it was never really instilled in me. It wasn't until grade school where I really got to understand the concept of cultural differences, and I think having that realization that you're a minority in this really big country is something that you're not really taught. And at least in Filipino culture, we're really just told to do good in school or to just be grateful that we're here. And it wasn't until about a few years ago, back in 2022, my maternal grandfather passed away and my grandma was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And after that, my family and we went through their old belongings and their old documents. And I just sat there realizing that I never really got a chance to ask them about their life in the Philippines or the struggles that they faced when they immigrated to the States. And I feel like since then I've been craving for that sort of connection to my heritage, and I know that a lot of the younger generation feel the same way. I think it's just really important that we ask and we learn about these stories about our ancestors to keep them alive, because if not, then how else will our culture and our history stay alive? So the best way to put it is that BTG has 5 main pillars: community, culture, family, history, and heritage. So all the programming that we do basically circles back to those 5 main pillars, which are also our core values. We've also had the pleasure of doing some collaborations with either Filipino organizations or Filipino small businesses around San Diego, which I personally think those are the most meaningful initiatives, just because we get to work with people that are doing such amazing work in the community, and also just businesses that I've grown up with over the past years. So right now in 2026, BTG is officially launching our Summit series, which is essentially conference-style events that celebrate Filipino American successes in multiple industries, honoring both traditional and unconventional journeys. Last year, we hosted an academic summit and a creative summit, and this year we'll be launching our first ever business summit. It highlights the importance of finding your true identity from your passion within the culture around you, because your identity is your superpower, and as long as you stay true to that, there should be no limits. Our dream goal is to host a festival, a yearly festival within the next couple of years that pretty much encapsulates all of that, so stay tuned for that. While we are honoring our heritage, I think it's so important to recognize the current Filipino American representation that we have here today, and to make it known that it's not only about inclusivity but also about accessibility, and making it known that there's so many different paths for us to take and not just the ones that our family has taught us growing up. In doing so, it's important for us to be able to uplift one another and empower our culture as Filipino Americans, and that is what BTG is for, to create that space and to create those conversations that ultimately are able to push us forward. If I'm being completely honest, I had a lot of imposter syndrome the first year of the organization. I felt like I wasn't Filipino enough to be speaking on these matters, but then I realized that's exactly what BTG is about, and it turned into working towards a cause and a purpose that is a million times greater than myself. And I think just seeing how many people resonate with BTG's mission, it just shows how incredibly needed this organization is, and it just makes me so excited for the future of it. And not only that, but I get to work alongside some of the most talented and passionate people that I know. So shout out to my directors, Kat, Maui, Rennie, and Gabe, and to all the interns that make up BTG. This organization would not be here without them, and I love them. The best way to get involved with BTG is to come out and support our events, and to learn more you can visit our social media page, which is just at Bridge the Gap SD on all platforms. For any partnerships or any sponsorships, you can email us at bridgethegapsd@gmail.com. Thank you so much to SoCal Filipinos for this beautiful platform to share more about Bridge the Gap and for the honor of being selected for the new business program. We hope to see you all at our future events, and thank you so much.